listen to fall to the floor.
Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. I'm motivated today because for the first time in many days, the sun is out. We should have some nice bright sun for a while, so this is the pen we're going to look at today. And to me, the sunlight was absolutely necessary to be able to show this pen in its glory. It just really pops when there's sunlight engaged. And those many of you may recognize, this is the Franklin-Christoph Model 02 Intrinsic that I got at the Philly Pen Show. I've used this pen every day since the Philly Pen Show and have found it to be an incredibly good daily writer. Just a pleasure to hold, a pleasure to look at. I have a fine italic Mike Masuyama ground nib in here, which is excellent. But the antique glass finish is just beautiful, really sets off the orange. I love the way the solid end here at the barrel really shows off the color of the acrylic. And as you transition down, you'll notice that there's a narrow section and it opens up, and then you have your cap, your classic Franklin-Christoph clip. You also have the classic Franklin-Christoph at the top of the cap. The cap is a nice red color. This is the only different piece of color on the pen. The rest of it is just that orange, beautiful orange acrylic, which varies because of the way it was machined and the antique glass finish that was applied. It unscrews in less than one turn, revealing this beautiful nib. Yeah, it's a Bach nib, and it's been custom ground. The translucency of the section is also very, very nice. You don't even feel these threads at the end, and it's great because this whole section here, it can be held at any place, very, very comfortable. I like the size. I just love the way they feel. I mean, they've done a beautiful job. This is extremely well engineered. All the parts fit together well. I just love the way they've taken advantage of the colors of the acrylic. When you post it, it posts extremely deeply. Very, very comfortable in the hand. And it's not a small pen, so whether it's posted or not posted, it fits well in the hand. And I think it actually feels better posted because it has, to me, that perfect weight with the cap on it. Doesn't that look nice in the hand? So again, you know, the key thing from my perspective is I really enjoy their use of materials, the way they're put together. You don't feel a transition here between those two pieces that they used for the top of the cap. The way it's engineered, it's just a beautiful writing instrument. And I think this may have been one of their first ones that they did totally on their own, and they knocked it out of the ballpark day one. They continued to make subtle changes on it, mostly with materials or whatever, but you don't play with classic good design, and that's what I see this pen as. Consider this part two of the video. I've put back in the cartridge converter. These pens can be used as eyedroppers. I think almost every Franklin-Christoph is designed to use as an eyedropper, which is also a testament to their engineering and their approach to fountain pens and making a very usable product for their customers. You know, I have to admit that the cartridge inside of here doesn't, the converter inside of here doesn't add anything to the aesthetics of the pen, but I don't think it detracts either. You know, it kind of gives you that functional look of the pen. You may ask, why didn't I eyedropper this? And I haven't had really, to me, the success that I like with eyedroppering, especially with these translucent pens. Yeah, you put the silicone gel on the threads, you know, but that gets saturated with ink, and the ink kind of doesn't behave as well within the pen when it's used as a eyedropper fill versus a cartridge converter. And with the cartridge converter, I'm pretty much always, raising the piston as the ink level goes down to keep the ink level constant and the flow constant. And you can't do that with an eyedropper. You fill it up and it lasts for a long time. But like I said, I've just not been happy with it aesthetically, even though that converter is a little bit distracting inside the pen. It's not more distracting than the nib. It's part of the function and the way that the pen works. So hopefully this is something that is coming across well in the video. Like I say, this I'm doing a Steph Gramia thing of, oh, beautiful, let me twirl this around. As you know, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I really appreciate all the different contributions that people have made, and if somebody does something well, I think it's worth adopting or using their technique. So there's the pen, and now we're going to show you how it writes. One of my viewers asked for always doing a comparison of pens that I review. So here we are with the Franklin-Christoph 02 compared to Pelikan M800. The sun's coming in from the left side. TUSB 580 and a Lamy Safari. The Franklin-Christoph is the longest pen in this group. I think, again, it's hold its own. I think pens fall into categories, and I would call this medium-large. I think medium pens are slightly smaller, and then you have your smaller pens, and then you have even smaller pens. But all in all, I think people may have experienced any one of these other three pens, so now they can put them in perspective, and we'll take a look at the nibs. Now, when we post them, the O2 becomes the smallest pen in the group by quite a bit. But I think that's not anything that's a drawback. I think it's actually a real plus, because that deep posting really doesn't change the balance much when you post it, which you tend to have a potential effect of that on the other pens. I think it's good to focus on the nib in the section. And in this case, you can see the number 6 nib on the Franklin-Christoph really holds its own compared to the M800. And the M800 nib is one of those nibs that a lot of people find to be a good size nib, a very attractive nib. So I think that's nice. I'm generally not a fan of scroll work. It really doesn't do anything. I really enjoy the simplistic branding on the Franklin-Christoph nib. Then you got your TUSB 580, another interestingly, differently designed nib, and of course your Lamy Safari, which is its own unique animal unto itself. The thing that I wanted to do when I decided to do YouTube videos for fountain pen reviews is I wanted to give you a first-person writing experience. That's why I like the positioning of the camera and making it feel like you're the one holding the pen. So of course there was only one ink to put in this pen, and that's Franklin-Christoph number 17. Which is an orange ink made specifically for the Philly Pen Show of 2017. As you can see, there's a nice line variation between horizontal and vertical. I put a little pressure on it. This is with no pressure. It did railroad, but then I've had the cartridge out for a while, so the feed may not be fully saturated. This is a crisp writer. Fine italic. And 14K. And it's ground by Mike. I think you can hear how it catches the paper, but that's part of the aspects of an italic, and Mike likes to do crisp italics, is they have an edge to them. This has a sweet spot. If you're out of the sweet spot, it's not as good a writer. But I enjoy the subtle line variation that you get from this without adding a lot of pressure. And when you're doing a lot of writing and you just like a little bit of a creative touch to it, this I think is an excellent nib for that perspective. I also have a ground steel italic nib, and we'll take a look at that maybe in a later video. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review of a very, I think it's an excellent pen. I'd say it's in the top 5 of any pen that I've ever used. Kudos to franklin-christoph and what they've been able to do and their support of the pen community and giving us incredibly interesting writing instruments. So have a great day, enjoy your writing, enjoy your life. Till later, bye.